Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting for Bedford Township for October 15th, 2024. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, if Pastor Josh Hollinger could open us up in prayer. It's from Bridgepoint Church.
Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you today with hearts full of gratitude and thankfulness that we get to live in this incredible country that you have blessed immensely. Thank you so much for the gift of life and that we have life today. I pray that you continue just to protect us, to keep us safe, to keep us healthy. I pray that you go before us. God, this is a crazy time with a crazy election coming up. I pray that us as Americans can be united, that whatever party we're a part of or whatever our personal beliefs are, that we can sit across the aisle and talk to people who we might disagree with or people that we might see things differently than. I pray that this country will be united, that we will be a strong force for your good and for the good of the world. I pray that you keep our people safe, our firefighters, our police officers, our public service workers. God, I pray that you just bless Monroe Township, or Monroe County, bless Bedford Township, bless the state of Michigan, and bless the United States of America. We pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Item number 2, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda is submitted.
Support. Okay, motion is supported by Bruning. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0. Item 3, consent agenda. The agenda committee recommends to approve and place on file A, minutes from the October 1st, 2024 regular meeting of the Bedford Township Board. B, general savings, pooled funds, interceded reports from the treasurer for September 2024. And C, balance sheet and revenue expense report for the period ending September 30th, 2024. Look for motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support. Okay, motion is supported by Bruning. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0. Item 4A, Monroe County Sheriff's update.
Good evening, Joe Hammond with the Sheriff's Office. You have in your packets the stats for the previous month. They are all within the kind of the standard of what we get. Nothing is an outlier there. The speed data is all within still in the 90% compliance rate there, so we're doing good at those intersections. I did have a couple questions just tonight before we got started regarding the citations that were issued for the month. There was a question on 2 of the citations that were possession of marijuana under the MRTMA Act. Those are typically, although I don't have the specifics from this, they are typically issued to juveniles that were in possession of some type of marijuana product. Often, if you'll see right below it, there's vape products that were issued as well. Oftentimes, they'll go hand in hand because juveniles will be in possession of a vape product, which is prohibited under the age of 21. They'll also have marijuana in those same products or in a similar product, not the vape itself. So they'll have, it's kind of usually when you get one, you get the other along with it. So that's likely where those came from. I don't have the specifics on who was cited or where, but that would be the general kind of way that would happen.
Do we have any comments, questions? Appreciate you being here.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Next is public comment. Comments limited to 5 minutes for board agenda
Investment report.
Enforcement report.
Bob? Come on up.
Thank you for having me. It appears I lost my connection. I have a backup.
Why we pay you the big bucks, Bob?
I'd like to start off with some comments I've been hearing recently about our budget and available funds, just real quick, as soon as this comes up. Password. Our fiscal 2025 budget, just a quick recap. We had total revenues of $5.4 million, expenses of $7.28 million. That meant that we took out $1.8 million from our fund balance. So our ending fund balance, if the budget is followed, will be about $3.7 million. We have restricted funds of about $3.6 million. So our budget left us with unrestricted fund balance of only $12,000. That is the amount of money that we have that we can just spend discretionary spending. If we want to increase that, we got to find ways to increase the revenue or decrease the expenses. So I just wanted to, I've been hearing comments.
Just for clarity, that was planned, though. The 1.8.
This is planned.
This
We
is
plan it this way.
So the public knows we're not
Right.
overspending 1.8 million.
We have a lot of money set aside in road capital improvements, township improvement revolving fund, capital asset revolving funds, special asset lending, and we had some debt payoff. So that is where the majority of our budget has gone. Okay. The investment report. This is as of September 30th, 2024. We have 6 main cash accounts. In those cash accounts, we have about $5.48 million.
Excuse me, Bob. We can see it here, but so the audience can see, could you zoom a little bit on those?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Hold your control key and scroll up on your mouse, your wheel.
Oh, that worked. Thank you. Is that better?
That worked.
Estimated cash inflows for the next 3 months are listed there. Outflows are listed. We expect to spend an additional $4.5 million in expenses versus revenue. That's normal. We get our main influx of cash in March. So we get a huge influx there. The target goal for investment rates is based off the 3-month T-bill rate, which is currently 4.57%. We have our ARPA investments that are spread out all across the country there. They're all insured. We have investments at UBS. Currently we have $5.9 million in cash accounts. They're earning about 5.06%. That cash is available immediately. We do not currently have any U.S. Treasury bills. We have certificates of deposits totaling about $2 million. On the right there, you'll see The maturity, how many days to maturity?
Not to interrupt, but is that, that cash that you were just talking about, the 5 million, is that where most of the money out of the pooled Fifth Third? Is
No.
that where that's?
Well, it came from there. It came from all different sources, but it's in its own fund now. It's in an investment.
Is that, like, where that came from? Because I see the pooled Fifth Third.
Oh, there's no connection. That's pooled Fifth Third's its own account. That's its own balance.
So at our last report, that was 10 million.
It was 10 million.
We talked about that.
Yes.
At length, but where, I didn't know if that's
Yeah,
where.
Craig, I took 6 million of that and put it into UBS for
That's what I'm saying.
investments.
Is that what this is? Money market UBS?
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay, sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. We have U.S. Treasury notes that total about 2.4 million. And the maturity, days to maturity are there on the right. We have two other funds. They're the Federal Home Loan Bank System and Federal Farm Credit Bureau accounts. They total about $640,000. We have $612,000 in sewer fund investments. Those are long-term. We have a total of about $11.8 million in UBS investments, and total investments are about $14 million. This is a small chart that's an upgrade to your paper. You see on the screen I added 2 more fiscal years. You can see the vast improvement over the last couple of years. So we're on very good track. This is quarterly interest. So if all goes well, you can multiply that by 4 for annual. Our weighted average maturity is 116 days, which is approximately 4 months. The dollars maturing within 1 month through 12 months is listed on this chart. And we have about 1.6 million in investments greater than 12 months at UBS. Our long-term investments are in SAD lending. We have about $3 million in SAD lending, anywhere from 1 to about 15 years. And these are just some of the risks that we're trying to manage.
Bob, currently are we at any risk with our funds that are invested, and is all of our funds that are invested in the proper interest rate?
We're working on it. We're improving every quarter.
What's holding us back? Where we have that?
We're still working with old investments that were before my time, trying to get them up to current and working to get those at a higher rate.
Just those old investments maturing, or is it just us needing to move the cash?
The maturing, and we moved most of the
We
cash.
can't move them. The ones
I mean,
that
if we want to take a hit on fees and stuff, we could do that, but
So is the hit on fees
Yeah.
comparable to the interest rates we're losing?
I'd have to look. I'm not 100% sure.
We do want to keep large cash on hand to cover 3 months of expenses at this point. As we get better at forecasting, we can tighten that up, but right now we're pretty good.
And all the money that is at First Merchants in the general, and then the O&M, and then those are the sweep accounts. Those are guaranteed funds. So even if we are over the $250,000, those are backed by bank securities. So if anything were to happen, they guarantee the funds. So and they rotate that out daily. I get reports daily on what they sell it to, or put them in different funds. So that way we're guaranteed if anything were to happen, we would get that money back. Does that make sense?
Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you for all your work on this, Bob.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Comments from the public. Comments limited to 5 minutes for board agenda items only. Just state your agenda item that you'll be speaking on.
Gail Kane, 1056 West Temperance. I was going to speak to the sheriff, but he answered my questions. The other question that I would have is that, does the police, are they allowed? I mean, if we start having an issue with marijuana and vape shops, I'd love to know which vape shop some of that stuff took place at, whether or not we can charge these people for the police time, in addition to those who may be frivolously using the police for false pretenses. It really does take up a lot of their time, as we learned at the last hearing. Additionally, the other question I have is regarding the Housing Commission. I have nothing against Nikki, and I see per the township site that that's a 5-year term. The memo states that it's a partial term she's filling, but I don't see how it's partial when they've been absent an entire person. So my interpretation would be is that she gets voted in tonight, her term starts, and she has 5 years. She is the deputy to Krista. Would she be considered the township representative? Per what's listed, it is supposed to be the supervisor, but if you check the attendance records, we have not had a township representative to those meetings in well over a year. Those people were here a couple weeks ago, last month actually, for an issue, and I'm not certain that they ever did get an answer to their questions. So I tried to reach out to one of them today, and I did not, they didn't get a hold of me in time for the meeting. So that's just the concerns that I have. She should be starting a new term. This would be from the beginning to the end, her 5 years as of tonight. And it's scary to think that this group of people have been short somebody. I don't know how long the shortage has existed, but it probably should have been filled a long time ago, especially considering that it states that she has been willing to take on a position on a committee. So that's all, just my comments. And, we got 36 days and still counting. Thanks, guys.
Anybody else with a public comment? They got their questions answered, by the way, the Housing Commission. And we stay in very good contact with them and work with them on a regular basis. So, anybody else? Okay. All right, moving on to vouchers for payment. Ms. Hirschberger?
I'd like to make a motion that the following vouchers be approved for payment. General Fund, $87,396.86. Fire District, $12,119.59. Fire Equipment, $19,551.52. Downtown Development Authority, $206.74. Library Operating, $1,045.68. American Rescue, $1,400. Building Department, $725.90. Sewer O&M Fund, $2,961.75. Trust and Agency, $2,658.42. Construction Escrow, $27.28, for a grand total of $128,093.74.
Support.
Okay, motion and support of Ms. Januzak. Discussion?
I'll just state that I'll be voting no, because I'm not in favor of paying the Knox company $7,000.
Okay, any more comments? Okay, look for a motion.
You already have one in a second.
Okay, would you call the roll, please?
Hirschberger votes aye. Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy? Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 6-1. Okay, item B, approve a resolution for a charitable gaming license for Bedford Lacrosse Boosters.
Before you is the application that has to be approved. This approval is for the Bedford Lacrosse Boosters for a charity gaming license. and recognize that they are a 501c3 organization. They have provided a copy of their bylaws, IRS status letter, and their articles of incorporation. And if there are no questions, I have a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the resolution for charitable gaming license for the Bedford Lacrosse Boosters as presented.
Support. Motion is supported by Gore. Any discussion? Could you call the roll, please?
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Montry? Aye. Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner? Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0. Item 8C, approve the purchase of firefighter protective gear. Assistant Chief Kurt Keene, appreciate you being here.
I believe the fire chief has provided all of you the information. If anyone has any questions.
Anybody have any questions, comments for Chief? Okay, look for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the firefighter turnout gear as recommended by Chief Van Kling, whatever. Alphabet. Do you guys want me to, for a total of $4,211.50 per set?
And the
Okay, motion
is it a total of 11 sets, Assistant Chief?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For a total of 11 sets.
All right,
They're going to
supported by
get,
Mr. Steiner. Anybody have any comments? Okay, could you call the
getting
roll?
a grant to offset this. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner? Aye. Mr. Montry? Aye. Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time and support.
Okay, item 8D, appointment to the Housing Commission. I'm looking for the board to approve Nikki Knapp to the Housing Commission. Ms. Knapp is a longtime resident and has volunteered in past for various organizations. This is a vacancy that has not been filled in some time, so this will be a partial term that will start 10/16/24 to 12/31/29. Okay. I don't think I made a motion. Did I make a motion?
No.
I'll make a motion. We approve Ms. Knapp. I think she'd be a great addition. Okay, supported by Mr. Montry. Discussion. Could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Peroni?
Aye.
Mr. Montry? Aye. Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner? Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye.
Okay, motion passed 7-0. All right, public comment. Comments limited to 2 minutes. Mr. Bruck, are you here to say something, or you want to wait till the end? Okay. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yep. Just state your name and address.
Rosemary Wall, 2155 Stirrup. On November 5th ballot this year, Bedford residents are being asked to vote no or yes on a proposal to allow 5 pot shops to be built in our community. Recently, Monroe County Sheriff Troy Goodenough met with the Bedford residents to present information and statistical data related to the reality of allowing pot shops into a community. For example, supporters of this proposal would have us believe that having pot shops in our community will boost economic growth and generate significant tax revenue. But in reality, the state of Michigan collects and controls this money, and only giving a percentage of that total amount back to Bedford. One of the most compelling statistics revealed by Sheriff Goodenough was this. For every $1 of tax revenue received from pot shops, communities will spend $3 to $7 on additional police, medical, and community resources to service those shops. In addition, Sheriff Goodenough revealed, based on his department's statistical data, that pot shops would increase traffic and crime in our community, making it highly likely that Bedford would find it necessary to hire an additional deputy at a cost to Bedford Township of an additional $130,000 a year. In regard to increased traffic, the Sheriff's Department monitored traffic traveling to the pot shops located on La Pleasance Road. for one weekend, and they recorded over 38,000 vehicles traveling to the pot shops in that short period of time. A no vote on this proposal will not prevent Bedford residents who want to use marijuana from doing so. The pot shops are already conveniently located nearby. This proposal is just too expensive. A no vote makes the most financial sense for our community.
Thank you for your comments. Any more comments?
My name's Mary Jo Hamill. I live at 2174 Stirrup Drive, Temperance. I'd like to point out to the Bedford community and to our board here some of the statistics concerning crime that Monroe County Sheriff Troy Goodenough recently presented at an informational meeting concerning the November 5th ballot proposal for Bedford, which would provide for the establishment of 5 pot shops within our Bedford community. According to the statistics from Monroe police records, there have been over 200 calls in the period of 1 year for their five of theirs pot shops. These crimes include alarms, well checks, property checks, suspicious issues, troubled subjects, traffic, narcotics, larceny, and robbery. At times, firefighters, rescue, and ambulance services were also needed, which would be an additional cost to our community. In addition, the Sheriff's Office has reported that instances of consumption of marijuana purchases are taking place in the pot shop parking lots, with the drivers then driving their vehicles while under the influence, which contributes to higher traffic violations and accidents. They have also reported instances of marijuana being purchased by adults and then reselling to minors in parking lots. Neighborhoods surrounding the pot shops have increased instances of robbery and other crimes. In conclusion, the Sheriff Goodenough does not recommend allowing the establishment of marijuana retailer establishments in Bedford. And because of the Sheriff's vast experience with the pot shops in Monroe and the statistics of crime and increased cost to our community, I'm urging our fellow citizens to vote no on this proposal to add pot shops to our Bedford community.
Thank you for your comments. Any more comments? Okay. You don't have to talk. Okay.
I didn't want to break up any good conversations. State Representative Will Bruck, Erie, Michigan. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't have a whole lot legislatively to report. We've met one day since the second week of June, and that was September 15th, I believe, 15th to 14th, and we won't meet again until the end of November. So we have a lot of time off, if you will, but we've been busy doing other things and trying to get some legislation prepped for when we go back in November. I did speak to Superintendent Schultz, Carl Schultz, about the most recent legislation we were able to pass. We were able to return a lot of the amount that was taken away from the school funding for officers, SROs, and mental health. We were able to pass a bill that returned about $125 million of the $300 million that was taken in the June budget. So they were very happy, and Carl was reported to me that they were adding 2 more SROs based off of that amount that will be coming the next school year. So he was very pleased, and I was pleased to be able to at least get some of that funding back. We did have amendments to try to increase that back to the 300 full amount, but you know, it is what it is, and we took what we could get. Otherwise, there are a few things that I get to do as a state representative, which I enjoy. I get to do tributes, so I was requested to do a couple tributes. So I have a tribute for you, Supervisor Peroni, and for Trustee Steiner tonight. So if I could do that now, would that be okay? Or I might go over my minutes, but I do have a couple tributes. These are from the state of Michigan, and I try to make myself available for people retiring. We've done 100th birthdays, you know, various things. We tried to honor people for the work that they've done. So this is a special tribute for you, Paul Peroni, Supervisor of Bedford Township. Let it be known that we're most pleased to honor and recognize the dedicated service of Bedford Township Supervisor Paul Peroni for his unwavering commitment and service to the Bedford Township community. His leadership and dedication and passion for his hometown have left a lasting impact impact on many of the lives. A lifelong resident of Bedford, Paul graduated from Bedford High School in 2000, and following in the footsteps of his father and brothers, he joined local 55 ironworkers, where he excelled and went on to serve as apprentice coordinator. Paul's journey here in the Bedford Township, his political journey began in 2008 when he was elected to the Bedford Township Park Board, serving until 2012 when he became a trustee here on the board, and then in 2016 becoming supervisor for actually becoming one of the youngest two-term township supervisors, serving from 2016 until the end of this year. As supervisor, Paul navigated numerous challenges, including successfully guiding the township through the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, visionary leadership establishing the Blizzard Fest, now in its 7th year, the Boo Bash in downtown Lambertville, and other events. In addition to his professional and political achievements, Paul has been a dedicated husband to Stephanie for 18 years, proud father of 5 children and 1 furry dog, my understanding. Additionally, Paul has served as a Royal Rangers commander and youth leader at his church, past board member of the Bedford Community Foundation. He has played a pivotal role in shaping the community's future. In special tribute, therefore, with utmost respect and gratitude, this document is signed and dedicated to honor the life and service and contributions of Paul Peroni to the Bedford Township. May he know of our heartfelt admiration for his service, exceptional leadership, and may he be successful in his future endeavors. Signed by myself, State Representative Will Bruck, and Senator Joseph Bellino.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I had no idea you were coming to do that tonight. Or at all.
I'd like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And then I have a tribute here for Mr. Steiner. And I didn't know a lot about you, Rick, so this was, I did not know that you have served 25 years in Bedford Township. So our great honor and respect, we recognize Rick Steiner for his 25 years of committed service and leadership in Bedford Township, stepping into Township Hall in December of 1999. Well, I guess we're mostly alive, I guess, in this room, maybe not a couple in here, but over 16 years as a township trustee as well. His integrity, respect, and dedication, his primary goal has always been to carry out his responsibilities with utmost professionalism, advocating tirelessly for the township's employees, residents, and businesses. Through his thoughtful, measured approach, Rick has ensured Bedford Township remains thriving, safe, and a welcoming community. His commitment to transparency and open communication has been a cornerstone of his public service. He has worked diligently to build and maintain strong relationships with organizations and groups essential to the township's health, safety, and welfare, fostering collaboration to benefit all of the residents. His honesty, integrity, and leadership have earned him the respect of his colleagues and the community alike. Having over 30 years of experience in the corporate world, Rick has consistently demonstrated fiscal responsibility and a commitment to excellence. He's a proud resident of Bedford Township for 55 years. Rick has made the community his home alongside his wife Jennifer. Together they have raised their son in the township, and today Rick takes pride in seeing his grandchildren grow up in the same community. His dedication to making Bedford Township a premier place to live and raise a family is evident in every aspect of his work, and we honor his service. We extend our deepest gratitude for the countless ways he has contributed to the betterment of Bedford Township. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to Rick Steiner for his leadership, unwavering commitment in the Bedford community. Signed by myself and, again, Senator Joseph Bellino. And it's evident that there has been, there's always struggle at any board level. But what I've noticed in Bedford is you guys have responded fiscally very conservative, and it's evidenced by the earlier financial records. You guys are a very healthy and vibrant community, and it wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for you folks here serving on the board. So it is an honor to be able to honor both you, Paul and Rick, tonight. So thank you for giving me that chance to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Can we ask a couple questions?
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Bruck, hold on one second.
Go away. You're on the hot seat now. All right. So real quick, and congratulations to Paul and to Rick, but getting back with the school funding. I have a vested interest in that because I'm funded. I'm one of the SROs up in Dundee that's funded by the grant. And when we first heard that our illustrious governor was going to cut almost 90%.
94%.
94% out of that. And there's many, many resource officers that are funded by that grant, Sheriff's Department, local PDs, and there's a lot of school districts that cannot absorb that cost. When that vote came down, I'm assuming, was that along party lines?
Yes.
Okay, so the Democrats cut school resource officer fundings by 94%, and you guys had to fight to get back from $300 million to $125 million back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the budget that actually passed, the school budget, was 56-54, so it was partisan lines.
What was the reasoning or in the discussions of why she cut school safety by 94%?
I don't know all the reasons, but they didn't have the money, essentially, is what we were told. I mean, to put that budget together, there was 350, or was it 600? 600 million was taken from some school pension/health benefit funding to put into the budget to make the numbers all equal. But it was really, they said they didn't have the funding for it. There was supposed to be another deal that didn't happen, and yeah, there was.
I just want to
there's
make
a lot of
sure-
politics at play, but
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of politics. I just want to make sure the public knows that it was by party lines that the Democrats cut school safety by 94%.
yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And for the school supplemental that we did pass, the 125 million, that was 98-11, so it was very bipartisan
Okay,
on that.
I appreciate some people have got their minds back. All right, thank you.
Sir. Yeah. I
Anybody
don't know if I
else?
found mine, but thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Or all right, thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay. All right. Moving on to comments from board members. Mr. Steiner, did you know about this tribute?
I had no clue. So, yeah, Mr. Brook hit it. You know, he mentioned the number of years, and they mentioned a few dates out there. And of course, I looked right up in the audience. December 1999 is the day I came in here and said, I'm here to stay, and put me where you want me. So I got involved immediately. Lamar Frederick was supervisor at the time, and within, I think, 6 months, he appointed me to my first commission, which was the Economic Development Corporation that we had at that time, and then moved through the various boards and committees, Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning Commission, et cetera. Oh, and I do want to say law enforcement. That was one of the first ones that we took a vote on here in Bedford to get the additional resource funding for the officers. So that was a real primary one, and really glad that worked out, and it continues to this day. Other than that, just to tag on, voting is underway. The ballots, your absentees are out. Some of the, and Trudy can tell you more, obviously, about early voting and things like that and dates. But we have a very important election here in Bedford this year, and we also have a national election that we've heard numerous years people say, well, this could be the most important election of our lives. And you know, I'll turn 65 in January. I'm retiring from everything in January. I'm retiring from here, but I'm not going away. There's things that I'll be working with Township and some of the people here. I'll still get involved with them. But retiring from my job, I'm going to enjoy the family and my grandchildren. And, you know, extracurricular activities now become more fun because I'll have more time to do it. So with that said, the important voting is, like I said, this to me in my 60-plus years, this is the most important election that I will have ever voted in. So take that, you know, for what it's worth. I think a lot of people also agree with that, and I hope they do. So all I'm saying, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I think most of you know which direction I follow, but vote your conscience and vote.
Mr. Montry?
I will
I will say, I just want to say thank you to Monroe County Ambulance and Bedford Township Fire Department. We had a little scare with my 1-year-old last night, and both of them followed one another in 6-7 minutes from the call, and just they're always any interaction. You don't hear anyone ever have interactions with our fire department and Monroe County Ambulance and not have wonderful experiences and be very appreciative of them. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Mr. Gore?
I'd like to say, first of all, congratulations to Bedford Varsity Soccer. They're playing for district championship tomorrow night up in Monroe, so go Mules. Let's bring home that championship. Folks, again, Rick, congratulations. Wonderful 25 years. Paul, thank you, everybody. I know it hasn't been easy, but at least people have answered the call and stepped up to better the community, and I think that's what everybody up here is trying to do, is just better our community. We have an election coming up, folks. I'm just going to say right out, don't vote your conscience. I mean, we just heard it right from our state representative. We had Democrats cut our school safety by 94%. Okay? I mean, that's absolutely unheard of and absolutely ridiculous to cut that much from school safety with the way the world's going on right now. Everybody knows where I stand and which way I lean, and I've talked about my grandmother before. She's 103 in November, and when last time I talked to her, she was hoping to make it long enough to vote for Trump in this election. And I said, Grandma, I said, in all your years, born in 1921, who's been the worst president? And she said, this one has been the worst administration that she can remember in her lifetime. So that's enough for me. So, and then hearing cut 94% out of our school resource funding for school safety. Folks, get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. We have to have a good voter turnout. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Mr. Bruning?
Yep, same thing. Everyone have a good night, good weekend. This Friday, Bedford Mules are at home playing Monroe. Same thing on voter turnout. I was talking with Holly from the Republican Party. At the last election, it was only 28% of registered Republicans voted. You're not turning anything over at 28%, people. You have to get out and vote. I don't hide it. Everyone knows where I stand. I'm voting for Trump. So it is what it is. Yep.
Mr. Anderson?
Just everybody have a nice rest of your evening and week, and have a great weekend.
Ms. Hirschberger?
Start off with the fun stuff. Halloween will always be October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. Early in-person voting will start October 26th. It will run through November 3rd. From the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., it'll be right here at the Township Hall, no matter what precinct you are, in Conference Room C. Watch your email and listen to your voicemails if you sent a ballot in or you haven't received your ballot, but you sent an application in, because if your signature doesn't match, we will send you an email, we will send you voicemail. If we can't get a hold of you, then that's when we're going to start the snail mail. But watch your email and listen to your voicemail. Make sure that you're not one of the people we're looking for that their signature did not match, because if it doesn't match, we can't count it. So please do that. Last thing, near and dear to my heart, October is Pregnancy, Infant, and Child Loss Month. Today is Remembrance Day. And I would like to remember my grandson, Camden Andy Cordes, that we just lost in July. That's all.
Okay, a couple things. Boo Bash, October 26th from 12 to 3 in the DDA, the Pearl Albert Green Park. It's been a great event the last few years, so get your little ones out there. They're doing pumpkin carving, face painting, and horse and carriage rides. So, Rick, congratulations. Served you a long time, and it's been able to get a lot done. And so it hasn't always been fun, but throughout the whole process, we were able to get a lot done. So, and Will, thank you very much for coming out tonight and doing this. Appreciate it a lot. Yeah. So other than that, things are going well. Have a great night. We're staying adjourned.